Thanks, kid. We're getting out of here. You want to come with us?
Sure. I love exploring.
And inside, more of those cryopods on the floor. After looting some crystals on a table in here, we can head back out the door to tag the button on the console just outside the window. Now that we know what to expect, we can head in to prepare ourselves. A feral ghoul reaver and another raider. Heading back out, the last thing we find is a healing arch in the middle of the room, and the only way to proceed from here is to open a big circular door to the west. This leads to a long tunnel. As we wind our way to the other end, we see aliens in a room to the north.
Look at all these cryogenic chambers. We must be planning to fill them all with specimens from our planet.
Great time to stop and chat there, Elliot. When he's done flapping his jaws, he races in to help us take out the rest of the aliens. As the dust settles, we see that we're in a huge room surrounded by even more of those cryopods. I bet we can open up some of them. We just have to find the right switch. Before we enter this room, we passed a hallway in the last room. So heading back, we can open a door to the west, where we find a small room, lots of food laid out on the tables, and a door-controlled terminal on a wall to the south. We'll activate the door, which slides open, revealing a treasure room. Large and small alien crystals on a shelf to the east, a big chest, and then on the ground next to it, a bunch of random Earth stuff. Food, clothing, scrap. Of note, we find some chems on the ground next to a second chest. To the right of this is a table laid out with alien epoxy and another Chinese commando hat. Can't have too many of those. Then after looting a frag grenade, we move over to see more Earth stuff. A motorcycle helmet, a garden gnome, a Chinese pistol, some .308 caliber ammunition, and some railway spikes. After looting this room, we can head back out to the larger one. We see a terminal we could have used to destroy a ceiling-mounted turret in the next room, but we already destroyed it. And here, we find the switch that operates the cryopods in the next room. After tagging it, more raiders. Oh, a whole bunch of them. Thankfully, they all began to attack each other. We can finish off the ones that went downstairs. It wasn't until I began editing this footage that I realized that this experience was probably intended to be enjoyed by activating the switch before running in to kill the aliens, whereupon we would see raiders and ghouls all attacking the aliens in a huge fracas. Now that we're down here, we may as well explore. Heading south, we see a whole bunch of Earth goods on a shelf. Look at this. Clothing next to a Tesla power helmet, next to a plasma pistol, combat armor, a whole bunch of ammunition, pre-war money, bottle caps, raider armor, a sawed-off shotgun, and chems. If we turn around and head to the southeast, we find another wall covered in goods. Plenty of more raider armor, a recon helmet, darts, ammunition, chems, some recon armor, microfusion cells, and a bunch of scrap. And then, if we turn around and go to the north, we find yet another wall covered in goods. A laser rifle and ammo canister, a suit of T-45D power armor, frag grenades, an assortment of clothing, chems, a T-45D power armor helmet, and a bunch more scrap. The Tesla power armor helmet is a great item to find, but it's not unique. We can find these being used by the Enclave back in the Capital Wastelands, so I won't cover it here. When done looting, we can head back up the stairs. To move forward, we go north down the catwalk and through a door down the hallway. Our path to the right is locked, so instead we'll turn west. At the end of this hallway, we find a door to the east, which leads to another room. We see aliens doing something on the other side of some glass, but we can't shoot through it.
Is that some kind of operating room? Wait a minute. What the? No. No! That's my squad in there. What the hell are the aliens doing to them?
Elliot races for the console.
You green bastards, get your hands off them! There has to be a way to release their containment seal. Maybe there's a button or something on this console. How do you like that, you fucks? How does it feel to be on the other end for a change?
Elliot froze them to death.
Experiment on this, you sons of bitches!
Never underestimate the wrath of a field medic, apparently. In this room, lying out on operating tables, are 3 corpses. We find the corpse of Corporal Spurlock, Corporal Reams, and Private Mears. And we learn that these were Elliot's squad mates.
Oh my god, no. I can't believe they did this to you. Why wasn't I here sooner? I could have stopped them. That's it. I'm sick of running. Let's finish these aliens off and get the hell home.
Well, we can't do anything to help them now. We see a shelf covered in loot to the east, 2 advanced radiation suits, rad-X, pulse grenades, frag mines, shotgun shells, and then moving southwest, we find another shelf. This one just has pre-war money, a metro ticket, and a variety of scrap and clothing. On the back northern side of this room, we find another control. This gives us captive recorded log number 11.
Private Lawrence Mears, U.S. Army medic, serial number 3476511. Private Lawrence Mears, U.S. Army medic, serial number 3476511. But you can do whatever you want to me. I'm not Satan, Jack. Stick it where the sun don't shine. Oh, my shit. Private Lawrence Mears, U.S. medic.
They tortured poor Private Mears to get information from him. Sounds like he died protecting the country that he loved. To the northwest, we find another control, which gives us recorded log number 17. This recorded log has a glitch. We see the subtitles of what this log was supposed to say, but it's unvoiced, and we don't know whom was supposed to voice it. Possibly Corporal Reams. I'll go ahead and read what he was supposed to say. Our defenses consist of 3 battalions of light infantry, 34 pieces of field artillery, 108 armored vehicles, and 42 aerial vehicles. We have 38 ICBMs always on alert and ready to fire when the word is passed down from the White House. The codes to activate the launch sequence are... Oh, no, I can't let you. Get out of my head. The codes are... no, I can't betray. No, my head. I can't. I won't. It is this recording that has given many conspiracy theorists plenty of ammunition to suggest that the aliens were responsible for the nuclear apocalypse. But I'm not sure, because we have no evidence that the aliens got the launch codes from this guy. In fact, all evidence suggests that he took those codes to the grave with him. When done, we can pass through the door to the north, where we see 2 more cryopods.
Wait, I think that's some more of my squad. It's Daniels and Beckett. There's gotta be a way to revive them with their memories intact, so they won't attack us on sight. I think I may be able to use this medical equipment to bring them out of stasis properly. The aliens have already injected them with all sorts of compounds I don't recognize. I don't know how it will affect them when they awaken. I don't know what to do. These guys are the last of my squad. They're my friends. If I revive them, maybe they could help us. I'm not sure they'll last very long, but if we leave them... You saw what the aliens did to the others.
Gosh, I don't know. How long can they last if you revive them?
I don't know for certain. I can get them on their feet and moving for maybe a few minutes at best. There's no way for me to tell what the aliens have already subjected them to. I can't understand these readouts. Their pain could be horrible. This technology is out of my league, so I'm just going to have to improvise. It's the best I can do.
Well, maybe we should just leave them here. It's too late for them.
Well, we have to do something. We can't just leave them in there like some sort of lab rat to get poked and prodded and cut open. We have to either let them fight and die like soldiers, or at the very least, put them out of their misery.
Well, you're right. We could always just put them out of their misery.
Yeah, I was considering that too. We can't let the aliens experiment on them anymore. It just isn't right. But maybe we should give them a chance to fight with us. It's better to die that way than to live through years of agony.
Well, Elliot, I think I've decided what we should do.
Thanks. I'm really not sure what's best for them. What did you decide?
We have 3 choices here. We can pass a speech check to say, "We have an objective, soldier." We leave immediately.
I guess you're right. Let's get the fuck out of here.
In which case he runs off and we leave them here. Or we can say, "End it. Put them out of their misery."
I suppose you're right. Don't worry. They won't feel a thing. The tubes are filled with an oxygen compound to sustain them. If I just shut it down, they won't feel a thing. That's it then. They're gone. Rest in peace, men. You deserve it.
In which case Elliot turns off life support and they die. Or we can say, revive them and let them fight with us.
Just remember, they won't be alive long, so we need to keep moving as fast as we can. I'm going to need to watch their vitals carefully as I use the medical console to pump them full of the correct fluids and bring them back. When I give the signal, you open the tubes with that switch. Don't open them until I tell you, or the results could be unpredictable.
We can completely ignore Elliot here and activate the switch anyway.
What the hell are you doing? Don't press that!
If we do, both soldiers run out frenzied. They look for any weapons they can find, eventually finding shock batons on a dead alien, and then they proceed to fight each other to death. When one finally dies, the survivor charges and attacks the lone wanderer, forcing us to kill him.
What the hell did you do that for? There might have been a chance to save them. What the fuck is wrong with you? If you don't trust me enough to listen to me, why did you drag me down here with you? Oh, forget it. It's too late now. They're dead, and there's no way to bring them back. Let's get the hell out of here.
Poor Elliot runs off beside himself. But if we followed Elliot's instructions, and instead of tagging the switch immediately, waited for him to give us the go-ahead...
Okay, let's see. This must initiate the thawing process. Okay, blood pressure looks normal. Heart rate, normal enough. Whoa, I hope to God this works. Open the tubes. If I did everything right, they'll still be alive. All right, squad, listen up. I know you have no idea what's going on, but you just have to trust me. We were captured by the aliens, the things that grabbed us from Anchorage. And now we're free. Here, take these weapons and follow me. Let's show them what some motivated U.S. soldiers can do. On me, squad. Let's go! Okay, let's put these guys to use. Wait just a second. Let me take some of this cryogenic compound back to the engine core. I might be able to make some use of it.
Both men emerge unharmed. His squad mates Sergeant Daniels and Private Beckett join us as temporary companions, but they're in pain.
Damn it. This burns like hell. Don't worry. I can keep going.
We need to make good use of these guys. To move forward, we open a door to the north that brings us to cryo storage. In this large room sparking with electricity, we find a control to the west, which gives us captive recorded log number 25.
Oh man, I've seen this on TV. You're going to eat me, aren't you? I'm like some sort of delicacy on your planet, right? Right? Well, I hope you choke. I hope you stump your stupid little green faces choke to death. Unless this is like that other show where I get put in some sort of weird alien zoo. That might be okay.
Well, people do deal with stressful situations in a myriad of creative ways. Heading west, we pass through a door. Peering around the corner, we see aliens on the other side. We can't get a good shot from here, so creeping forward...
No, it can't be. Is this their plan? To capture this many people from Earth? Oh my god.
Elliot is referring to all of the storage pods in this room. We see hundreds of them. But as we creep forward, the aliens spot us.
Take
The battle draws the attention of other aliens on the other side of this huge chamber. We survived. But oh no, not Sergeant Daniels. We find his corpse lying on the ground, but it looks like he didn't die to the aliens, but instead finally succumbed to the thawing process. On his corpse, we find a full suit of winterized medic combat armor. This is the only way to get the suit without stealing it from Elliot or killing him. But it looks like for the moment, Private Beckett is still alive. We see controls near to some of the cryopods on this upper level, but tagging them doesn't really do much. I tried releasing all of the ones on this level, but nothing happens. So instead, we'll go down the steps to the northeast to explore this ground floor. My goodness, Elliot wasn't kidding. Look at all of these pods. Exactly how many humans did this alien species plan to abduct? This bottom floor connects to the other side through a tunnel that goes beneath the catwalk. These bottom levels are intimidating, but we don't find much here. So turning north, we can go through a door to find a hallway. We find some alien epoxy on a table to the east, and turning around, we find a chest on the ground to the west. This room connects to another room through a doorway to the north, and here we find 2 cryopods with super mutants inside. They've even abducted super mutants. We don't see any way to release them in here, but heading to the west, we can go down a hallway back to the western side. Turning south, we find a control against the wall, which gives us captive recorded log number 16.
I'm Holly Beresford, a linguistic specialist for the USSA. I think I'm beginning to understand you, but you need to stop shocking me. Damn, I wish you could understand me. Do you understand? That's it. You get it. I mean you no harm. I just want to learn how to speak with you. Then perhaps we can discuss what you need from us. What are you doing with that needle? No, get it away from me. No, please. We can be friends. You don't need to. Ugh.
Part of me thinks that even if the aliens could understand us, they wouldn't care. After looting some alien epoxy on a nearby table, we can go back up the stairs. If we head to the eastern side, we see a switch all by itself, which doesn't appear to be connected to any one cryopod. Pressing it, nothing seems to happen, but wait.
Now try and hide from this!
We hear super mutants to the west. Heading that way, sure enough, we've released the mutants, and they're super mutant overlords.
Come on, you bastard!
Somewhere along the way, we lost Private Beckett. Retracing our steps, we find his body lying on a catwalk to the west. At least he died with a fight. On his corpse, we can find another full suit of winterized medic combat armor. Heading downstairs, we see a door to the north, which brings us up some stairs into a back area. If we follow the path to the north-northeast, we see a teleporter to the left.
So that's the generator. Now, how the heck do we destroy it?
And the generator behind us. Well, we know how to deal with these by now. Punching the switch, the cylinder in the middle rises. We can then go around and activate each of the 3 core coolant switches. When done, we stand back and watch. And we're done. We now need to check in with Sally. We could use the teleporter behind us, but I wanted to head back to make sure I didn't miss anything. Sure enough, on the top of one of the catwalks to the west, we find another switch, which releases more super mutants down below.
No more games! Time to die!
When done, we can retrace our steps, head back north, and activate the teleporter. It flickers to life, and we can use it. It teleports us to the one at the very beginning, which was non-functional. This is effectively a shortcut, and we can use it to head back to the big door to the engineering core.
All right, get that suit on and get outside. The sooner we get out of here, the better.
Elliot sure is excited to get out there. Moving forward, Sally greets us.
Wow, you did it! Now you're gonna have to go outside of the ship. I know it looks scary, but that's the only way to the top. Oh, make sure you wear a spacesuit before you go out there, or you could die. Don't forget.
Each of our companions is thrilled with our success.
I guess it's time for your spacewalk. Lucky you.
I guess we're done down here. Time to take the fight to the aliens. Good work, but don't get cocky.
And as always, they've been hard at work. We find more junk up here, a sledgehammer on the ground next to one of these consoles. Moving into the northern room, we find more alien food on the ground. A big stew pot filled with alien biogel sitting on a filing cabinet in the middle of this room. Facing northwest, we find a box with another Nuka-Cola Quantum inside. And if we tip the box over, we find alien power cells hiding beneath some turpentine. There are 2 more ammo containers against the wall at the top of the stairs. And heading downstairs, we find shotgun shells on a table right next to a Gatling laser and a laser rifle beneath it. We even find a little sculpture, I guess, sitting on top of a shelf above where Toshiro likes to sit. It looks like a robot toddler eating his bowl of cereal with milk, playing with a toy car, and hugging a teddy bear. By this time, I was incredibly encumbered. Remember I said earlier on in this series that we need to loot as much as we can from the places we've explored, because after our spacewalk, we can't come back. However, the engineering core is safe for storage. We will be able to come back here later. So this is a great opportunity before our spacewalk to store anything we can't carry with us. But turning around, we see that Toshiro is missing. He's not kneeling on the ground where we left him. He's not sleeping on his makeshift bed. We didn't see him anywhere upstairs. Where did he go? We can ask each of our companions if they know where he went.
Took off. Don't know where to. Don't much to know.
Huh. How about that? He's gone. I didn't even notice. Hope he doesn't get himself into trouble.
It wasn't my turn to watch him? I don't know. He was here before.
It's like he just vanished. But no time to think about that now. We've got to move forward. Checking in one last time with Elliot.
Now that all 3 generators are destroyed, you're gonna have to take a walk outside. I just hope that old spacesuit is still sealed properly.
We find an option to say, do you think you can make use of that stuff you picked up in the cryo labs?
Yeah, I think so. Before I was shipped out to Anchorage, I was trained in cryoscience. We were hoping to apply that to medicine. The compounds we used weren't that different from this cryogenic liquid. Pretty sure I could make us some improvised weapons from it. I'm thinking something along the lines of cryo grenades, cryo mines. I don't know yet. Check back with me in about an hour and I'll see what I can do.
We have to wait a few hours, but if we do, the next time we check in with him, we can say, were you able to come up with any cryogenic weapons?
Yeah, sure did. I was able to make a few cryo grenades and cryo mines. I can make more, but I'll need around 3 more hours. Keep checking back with me and I'll take a look.
He gives us 3 cryo grenades and 3 cryo mines. These items were in the game files of the base vanilla game, but they weren't actually added to the world until Mothership Zeta. So they are effectively new weapons we get with this DLC. Both the cryo mine and the cryo grenade do hardly any damage at all. They do 1 point of damage, but they do freeze enemies for 3 seconds. If we like these things, we need to get as many from Elliot now as we can, because after we finish our spacewalk, he'll no longer make them for us. And with that, we've fully explored the engine core, the cargo hold, the research lab, the robotic assembly, the cryo lab, the hangar, and the engine room. We now have one task ahead of us: to don the spacesuit of deceased Colonel Hartigan and venture out into the great unknown. We'll do our dance in space in tomorrow's episode. I publish new videos every single week here on my channel, so if you don't want to miss the next episode, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. I have a shirt shop with a bunch of custom, unique designs you can't get anywhere else. My designs come on shirts in a wide array of colors and in a variety of both men's and women's sizes. If interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming a sponsor here on YouTube or one of my patrons on Patreon. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, with episode 7. Last episode, we destroyed the 3rd and final generator, which removed power from the oxygen pumps, keeping aliens alive on the other side of the decompression door. Now, at long last, we can finally open the northern door to the decompression chamber. As soon as we arrive on the other side, Sally gives us a handy reminder.
Hey, don't forget to put on the astronaut suit before starting the decompression sequence.
But if we're feeling like mavericks and we don't want to listen to no girl, we can punch the button before putting on the spacesuit. explodes. Well, I think this girl knows exactly what she's talking about, so putting our spacesuit on first, we can then punch the button. The western door slides open, and immediately we see the results of our handiwork. Before us lie dead aliens strewn about. These aliens suffocated to death after we destroyed the generators keeping their oxygen pumps working. Moving forward, we open the door to the west, climb some stairs, open another door at the top of the stairs to find ourselves in a long hallway. To continue forward, we turn right, open an eastern door, sidestep more alien remains, head up the stairs and through another door. We arrive in an oval room. We see more dead aliens laying about. Before heading out, we can turn right and activate a wall-mounted terminal to open up the nearby door. Inside, we find two chests next to a table covered in alien biogel. When ready, we can head back to the oval room, face east, and open the door to the spacewalk. As we walk up a ramp, a hatch slides open above us, and we see that we're standing on the exterior fuselage of the alien ship. There's a saucer directly above us, and we can peer through windows below to watch aliens frantically scrambling around the hallways. All we see from this narrow strip of space are stars. I wanted to see if I could see the Earth walking over to the ledge. I tried to peer over it, but... oh no! If we get too close, we float off into space and die. Well, looks like there's no time for sightseeing. We need to remain on task. There are 3 fuses, so to speak, that have popped out. In order to reactivate the teleporters, we've got to push these back into the ship. We now have to wander about until we find each one. ourselves in a small room, and stepping forward, we complete the quest among the stars and begin the quest. This galaxy ain't big enough. But before we can go any farther, we need to repressurize this room. So pushing the big switch in the middle of the room, we can walk around and loot crystals until this room is repressurized. When it is, the door slides open. Stepping through, we see a bunch of worker aliens, and it looks like we've found a teleporter room that leads right to the engineering core. We see the engineering core hologram hovering above this teleporter. Before we activate it, we can loot 2 chests on the ground next to an air vent, and then head to the big button next to the teleporter to activate it.
I'll get the door.
Sally crawls through that air vent while the rest of our companions teleport in.
Seen this part of the ship before.
Thanks, Sally. Moving forward, we arrive in a large room. Don't see any worker aliens, though. And in the middle of the floor, oh my goodness, it's Earth.
It's so pretty, isn't it?
Didn't think I'd ever see something like this.
That's really something. Almost enough to make you forget we're running for our lives up here.
Not really the time for talking.
Sorry, I should get the door. Hang on, okay?
No wonder we couldn't see it from on top of the ship. The ship is hovering directly above it. This is an incredibly important site. I can't count how many times viewers will leave a comment asking, well, sure, America burned a nuclear fire, but what about the rest of the world? Well, here it is. We see hurricanes off in the distance, and everything below the clouds is green. Now, we only see one hemisphere of the Earth from this angle, so I suppose we really don't know what's happening on the other side. It's kind of hard to make out, but I think we are right above the east coast of North America. Those, I think, are the Great Lakes, and that must be the Atlantic. And if so, then that means that there are hurricanes in the North Atlantic. We see 2 hurricanes out to sea, and the little of Earth we do see is a sickly nuclear green. I'm shocked that there's enough nuclear fallout left on Earth that we could see its effects from space. But then again, we do get rad storms. If there's enough fallout in the atmosphere 200 years after the apocalypse to produce radiation storms, then, well, I suppose we would be able to see it from Earth. But we don't have long to gawk at Earth. We soon get interrupted.
Wow! Did you see that? Scary, but also kind of a stupid move on their part, don't you think?
What the hell was that?
Pretty obvious, wasn't it? They're putting on a big show trying to scare us. Means we're getting under their skin. That's a good thing. Of course, now it looks like we've got a big death ray thing we need to take down before they blow up the whole damn planet. But it's nice to know we're having an effect, don't you think?
Oh, I have no idea what he said, but you sounded pretty angry.
Oh, come on. You don't need to understand it to get the point. Some kind of a threat. And if they're threatening us, it's a good bet we're starting to scare them a bit. Now, you ask me. We need to find out what that was and make sure it doesn't happen again. But at least we know we're getting somewhere.
We need to find out what that was and put a stop to it.
Yeah, sure. No question about that. But if you ask me, seeing that was kind of good news. Means we're making some headway, you know? Really getting under their skin.
Well, I think Soma's right. They do sound scared.
I sure hope they don't figure out where we are. This time I don't think they're going to put me back in a cell.
That's true. They have been treating Sally like a bit of a pet up until now, but if they catch her again, what will they do to her? More than our neck is on the line. Heading through the door that Sally opened after climbing through the air vent, we see a room to the right.
I think we're getting closer.
There's a teleporter here and a pile of crystals on a nearby shelf.
Oh no! They turned this one off too. You're going to have to find the other end and turn it back on.
Forget the teleporter. Let's just go.
That doesn't seem like a very good idea. They turned it off. That means they know we're here. And they're probably waiting on the other side of that door. It'd be smarter if just one person went and checked it out. Don't worry, we'll be safe right here. Good luck.
You sure this is a good idea?
I think so. Seems like they're getting even more angry at us.
Okay, you wait here. I'll see if I can find the controls.
Good luck. We'll stay right here and wait for you.
Doggone aliens, we've been thwarted again. We now have to reactivate this teleporter. To do so, we open the northern door to enter the weapons lab. Creeping down a hallway, we can turn left to access a wall-mounted terminal to overload the nearby turrets. We are in a large, vaulted chamber. Our path goes on to the southwest, and we see two doors to the right. The first one is a deactivated teleporter room, and the second one is another deactivated teleporter room. So that leaves us only one path forward, to the southwest. We find one container lying by some machinery. Ah! I thought I got those turrets. Well, now the aliens have found us. I'm just too far away from this guy. I'm not gonna play this game. Running forward to find a door, we see that one to the southeast is blocked the force field, but the one directly west of us is open. Heading through, we can access another wall-mounted terminal to activate a nearby door. Heading through the door, we see a chest on the ground, some alien power modules and cells, don't forget the cells, lying on a shelf next to a giddy-up buttercup. And lying on a shelf directly beneath the buttercup is the unique weapon, the atomic pulverizer. It's extremely easy to miss this weapon because it looks exactly like an alien atomizer, and it's sitting right next to one. The atomic pulverizer is a unique version of the alien atomizer. It deals 37 damage, which is only a few points higher than the atomizer. However, its action point cost is only 12, compared to the alien atomizer's 20. This gives the weapon the distinction of having the second lowest action point cost, tied with the ritual knife from Point Lookout, meaning that you can get almost twice as many attacks in with a single bar of AP compared to using the alien atomizer. It also has a critical chance multiplier of ×2 compared to the atomizer's ×1. All of this combined brings the DPS up to 111 compared to the atomizer's 105, and the damage per action point up to 3.1 compared to the atomizer's 1.8. Aside from that, it shares many of the other distinctive features of the atomizer, including its zero spread, which means that this weapon, like the atomizer, has dead-on accuracy. After turning around and looting some alien epoxy and biogel on a nearby shelf, we could activate this guard drone if we wanted it. We can use the tool we got in robotics assembly to activate this guardian drone, which brings him along as a temporary companion. Then we can head on out. The door directly across from this room just leads to another deactivated teleporter, so going down the hallway we have two paths. We can turn right, where we kill an alien, or we can turn left. The left path is blocked with a force field, so turning around we'll head north. This path then splits right and goes up some stairs. This brings us down a long hallway with portholes out into space that again splits, but the right path is blocked with a bunch of machinery, so we'll turn east. At the end of this hallway, we find another alien. This brings us to the ledge on top of the room where we first entered. This is where we were having that sniper match with the alien that we just killed. We can use the nearby healing archway to heal on up, and then press the big button here, which removes the force field barrier on the door below. With these aliens dead, we can finally head downstairs and start looting. We find a bunch of gems and alien epoxy on a nearby shelf. But to continue, we move through the southern door. This is the door that had a force field blocking it, which we turned off from above. After killing a drone and an alien in here, we find two chests on the ground. The northern room is a deactivated teleporter, so Turning around, we find another container under a console. The southern door is another deactivated teleporter, so our only way forward is to move east. Heading down this hallway, we can snipe at aliens on the level above. We find only one chest on the bottom floor of this very large room. To move on, we have to move to the southeastern corner of it and climb a staircase to the catwalk level above. Here we find a chest next to a southern door, and moving through it, we can attack a guardian drone. This brings us to a large room with observation windows on either side. A door is blocked with a force field to the right. We can move southeast to open a chest on the ground, and then move down to the control floor where we can loot the enemies we just destroyed and destroy some new ones. When done, we can turn around to find another control. Activating it gives us captive recorded log number 24. Well, we have seen plenty of them on the ship. Suppose they had to get them somewhere. Turning west, we can bypass the force field opening for now and instead peer through a window. We don't see anything out there, but we do see a gun hologram above us. Pushing the button. Oh. Well, pushing the other button. Ah, okay. So that's what they use Brahmin for. Well, we can punch the button next to the force field to disable it and head inside. We see Brahmin remains all over the place, and it looks like two Guardian drones were the ones shooting at them. The Guardian drones we find here are not initially hostile, but if we decide to destroy them, we notice that they have unique names. Experimental Weapons Drone. After destroying them, on one, we find the unique item, the Drone Cannon XB. The Drone Cannon XB is a unique version of the Drone Cannon. The difference between the Drone Cannon XB and the regular Drone Cannon is in the way the electric projectile works. As you recall in my video on the hangar, when I went over the Drone Cannon lobs these big, explosive electric energy balls that bounce once and then detonate after a few seconds. The Drone Cannon XB works very differently. Instead, the balls of energy detonate upon impact. They don't bounce. Otherwise, the stats of this are almost identical to a drone cannon. Each do 40 damage, have a DPS of 466.7, and do 100 explosive damage. They have a ×1 critical chance multiplier, do 50 critical damage, and cost 30 action points, dealing 4.7 damage per action point. Not very effective and pretty expensive in VATS, but a wonderful gun to use outside of VATS. When done in this room, we can head out, and if we turn south, we see a series of 3 tables and 3 shelves lined with all sorts of goods. We find alien power cells on one shelf with a chest underneath, combat armor, and a Tesla power armor suit on a table next to some frag mines. Perfect, this will match our Tesla power armor helmet. On a shelf next to this is a whole bunch of alien epoxy, and on a table next to this is alien biogel, pulse grenades, plasma mines, plasma grenades, another Gatling laser, crystals next to 2 atomizers and a disintegrator, and then a stash of ammunition including microfusion cells and energy cells next to a plasma rifle, a plasma pistol, and some metal armor. They really cause you to make hard decisions about what you can take back with you. We can't walk away with it all. When done looting, we can move northeast. We see a dining table here covered in food, and 2 doors out of here. One to the east, and one to the north. Heading through the northern door first, we pass a teleporter to our right, and an alien worker. Well, I'm sure his friends will get us in a minute. There's a chest on the ground near to the western wall, and moving to the end of this hallway, we see a healing archway, and then what's this? Some sort of rifle range? We see a button here. Upon pressing it, nothing happens quite yet. There's a disintegrator and an atomizer lying here. Oh. A death claw. Oh, and raiders. There are 3 teleportation pads down there, summoning in raiders and Deathclaw to battle it out. I suppose we could participate. Whoa! Oh my god. supposed to happen. We suddenly get the Xenotech Expert perk. Our training experience with alien weaponry has made us a Xenotech Expert. This amazing perk increases the damage we deal when using alien weapons by 20%. We get this perk when 10 enemies or more are killed in this rifle range. The funny thing about it is that they don't have to die by our hands. You saw that I had just opened fire immediately before getting this perk. Most of these raiders had been killed by the Deathclaw. So as long as 10 enemies die here, we get the perk. It doesn't matter who kills them. This awesome perk affects every single alien weapon we find here on the ship, including the 2 alien weapons we can find on Earth, the Fire Lance and the Alien Blaster. With the exception of 2 weapons, the Electro Suppressor, which is the baton we found in the engine room, and the unique weapon that the captain of this ship wields, which we'll talk about when we get there. So strangely enough, even though those are both alien weapons, this perk does not affect them. With the enemies dead, we can turn around and head south. We find another firing range here, but looking immediately to our right, we discover another unique weapon called the Destabilizer. The Destabilizer is a unique version of the alien disintegrator, but the biggest change is that this is a fully automatic rifle. Because it's fully automatic, its base damage is a bit weaker. It deals only 30 damage compared to the disintegrator's 65. But because it's automatic, it does 4.5 shots per second compared to the disintegrator's 2. It also has a much weaker critical chance multiplier because it's automatic, with a critical chance multiplier of only 0.44 compared to the disintegrator's 2. And it does less critical damage, 20 compared to 50, and it has higher spread, 1.5 spread compared to the disintegrator's 1. But it does cost fewer action points, costing only 25 compared to the disintegrator's 30. That said, everything considered, it deals only 1.2 damage per action point compared to the disintegrator's 2.2, but outside of VATS, it has a damage per second of 135 compared to the disintegrator's 130. It also has a strange quirk. When used in VATS, even though it's an automatic rifle, it only fires 1 round, which makes no sense as an automatic weapon. So this is really only useful outside of VATS. Thankfully, I do a lot of gunplay outside of VATS, so I think I'm really going to enjoy this. The button we found next to this weapon activates a teleporter at the end of this rifle range, and it summons a Brahmin. We can have fun killing as many of these Brahmin as we want until we kill 3. For some reason, after 3, it no longer generates any more. Probably because the teleporter pad is clogged with dead Brahmin. We can use the nearby teleporter to teleport down to the rifle range. Here we can loot the Brahmin if we want, and we can see exactly why this thing no longer works. Well, it was fun while it lasted. But we see that this is a dead end. So to continue, we need to turn around and go back into the next room. This time we'll go through the eastern door. This brings us up some stairs, through a small room, and then across a hallway where we find a door to the experimentation lab. But we'll have to save the experimentation lab for tomorrow's video. In our next episode, we'll attempt to do something about that death ray, because these aliens are threatening Earth. And at last, we will uncover the horrifying truth about what these aliens are doing to their human captives. To find out, be sure to tune in tomorrow for our next episode. I publish many new videos every single week, so if you want to make sure you don't miss a single one, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. I have a t-shirt shop with a whole bunch of wonderful, unique designs. You can get my designs on shirts in a wide array of colors and in a variety of both men's and women's sizes. My designs also come in a bunch of other stuff: mugs, pillows, posters, prints. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, for episode 8. yesterday's video, we finally completed our spacewalk and wound up inside the weapons lab. After recovering 3 unique weapons from the lab, we found that our only path forward was to continue on to the experimentation lab. On the other side of the door, we opened a large round door to find a room with alien workers running around. After looting some food on a table, we walked north into... what is this? A surgery room? We see a long table in the middle of the room covered in human clothing and human remains. I got caught up in the spectacle before me, which gave the aliens plenty of time to surprise attack. Came out of a northern door. Inside this room, we see, what is that? Some sort of surgical chair. On the ground near to a console is one container, and then getting close, we see the body of a wastelander on the ground. But wait a minute, we recognize these chairs. One of these must be the very chair we sat in upon being abducted from Earth. The tentacle-like arms are each of the very same tools used to probe us. But it looks like they also perform surgery here. Turning around, we see a control against the wall. Activating this gives us captive recorded log number 20.
Man, what did you... Why can't I feel my arm? Wait, are those my arms? What did you do? God, put them back! Put them back on!
They dismembered people here while they were still alive. After getting over our initial disgust, we can loot another container by one of these chairs and exit through a southern door. Turning to the west, we can exit through a western door down a long hallway. The door to the right leads to another experimentation room. This is strange. We see unique chairs covered in diodes, cathodes, and then in racks next to them, vials of human blood. They use these chairs to suck blood out of their captives. But for what purpose? After looting some alien biogel on a nearby shelf, we can exit and then go through an eastern door. Here we just see a table decorated in all sorts of alien doodads, crystals, epoxy, and human gore. They were not shy about messing with human remains. They also don't seem to be taking much precaution about disease, viruses, bacteria. We haven't seen any of these guys in a hazmat suit yet. Heading out and moving south, we can turn left to activate a wall-mounted terminal, which we can use to activate its corresponding door. Oh, wow. And this scene tells a story, doesn't it? This wastelander managed to free himself and raced towards this healing archway to heal himself, but didn't make it in time. I think we get a clear idea what he died from. After looting some alien biogel on a table, we see more huge vials of human blood. And in the middle of the room is a table with a giant buzzsaw. Oh, man. This is a bit overkill, though, don't you think? I mean, it would be great for just hacking off parts of a person. Jeepers. Well, directly behind this table is another shelf filled with Earth gear. We get alien biogel, but then a recon armor helmet and a suit of recon armor. When done looting, we can head out, back down the hallway, and then through the western door. This leads us to a very large room with windows against the ceiling. Peering through, we see lots of alien workers and what appears to be a humanoid figure behind a force-field wall, essentially in a cell. Is this where they're keeping more prisoners? After looting a chest on the ground here, we can circle this room's perimeter. We find more alien epoxy on a table filled with human gods to the northeast. And next to this is another controller, which gives us captive recorded log number 10.
I can't feel my legs. What did you do to my legs? Frank? I can't see you. Frank! Frank, what did they do to you?
So they weren't just harvesting our blood, body parts, and other fluids. They were turning some of us into what? Monsters? After punching pushing a button in the middle of this room, we get a very familiar sight. I bet we can gain access to the rest of this level by killing the power generating these force field doors. So just like before, we go around in a circle and tag each of the core coolant switches. When done, we stand back and wait. As soon as the generator explodes, the force field doors in the cell room vanish, releasing their occupants. It's hard to see exactly what happens, but if we toggle the free cam, we see that the occupants chase the alien workers west down a hallway and exit to the biological research lab. But into this window, we still see some of these creatures, whatever they are. I wanted to get a closer look. Heading through the western door, we round a corner to find a chest lying by some machinery, and then head down a hallway next to this to find a T-junction. To the right is the door that the creatures ran through to the biological research lab. On the ground we see blood spatter and human gore, and to the east we see a doorway into that cell room. I don't know if these guys are friendly or not. After all, they were captives just like me. They clearly hate their alien captors. Maybe they'll be friendly. Well, I'd hate to kill something that could be a potential ally. So sneakily, we see them milling about down the hall, ducking into one of the cells real quick. Quite sure if they're friendly. Doggone it. I'm just gonna walk right up and shake hands. Not friendly. Not friendly. Oh my god. These abominations appear to be half alien, half man. And disturbingly, on their inventories, we find very human gear, like a pack of cigarettes. But on others, we find very alien gear. Could these abominations be alien-human hybrids? But then we remember listening to Alien Captive Recorded Log number 19 that we got in the waste disposal. In that recording, the man told us that the aliens meant to change us into abominations. He told us exactly what we find here, that they've been keeping us in cells and then moving us one by one to their experimentation labs. Their labs like this one. Perhaps they were using humanity as a basic flesh stock that they would then inject with their superior alien genetic material, or somehow modify our DNA to more closely match theirs to produce a breed of hybrid alien-human monsters that they could control in battle. But it looks like they haven't gotten to the control part yet. On the oval-shaped cutting floor, we see more of these abominations dismembered on tables. The aliens clearly don't regard them higher than they do us. And after looting some alien biogel and 2 containers, we can activate a control, which gives us Captive Recorded Log number 9.
What are you doing to me? What's that thing? Get it out of me! Hurts! Please stop! No!
Goodness. Well, if this recording is to be believed, perhaps the transition is more instantaneous. Maybe they inject humans with some serum they've been creating over hundreds of years that causes us to instantly mutate into this strange alien-human hybrid. Examining each of these cells reveals nothing. So to continue forward, we go down the western hallway and through the very door that these abominations race through to enter the biological research lab. Immediately upon entry, we see a wall-mounted terminal that we can activate to access this room. There we find some alien epoxy on the shelf, and that's about it. Continuing down the hallway, we open a door at the end. A large room filled with steam. We see a catwalk with stairs just before us, but before going up there, we can go ahead and sneak behind it to take control of this nearby support drone. Since none of our other companions would come with us, it would be handy to have this guy. Heading up the stairs to this catwalk level, we can try to sneak by. We see aliens, but they're already dead. And of course, that's right. The abominations raced through here and quickly killed them. In fact, we see one to the northwest. He made Quick work of my support drone. With the abomination dead, we can loot this room. We see alien epoxy and biogel with crystals on a shelf to the north. And then on the lower oval in the middle of this floor, we find a control that gives us captured recorded log number 18.
Just wait until I tell Masha and Karen about this. Imagine! I'm actually on a spaceship! Oh, they're pointing at... Oh, I'm talking to this? What is this? Is this the space phone? Hey, Mosh, this is Janet. You will never guess where I am. Never. Oh! I wish I could hear you, but I'll just tell you. I'm in space! I was driving along the highway when there was this light, and suddenly I'm on this real spaceship. No joke! Now these little green men are making all these noises and pointing at stuff trying to talk to me. I bet I'm the first one they've met. So I figure I'll talk with them a while, then I'll join you later. And I can tell you all about it over lunch. Ugh, I only had my camera. Well, they're pointing at some table with all sorts of gizmos sticking out of it. Gotta go. Kisses.
Those ending kisses slay me. The Fallout 3 official strategy guide says that we find Janet's car, the one she was driving, when she was abducted when going through the maintenance level. Hers was that beautiful new blue Corvega Atomic V8 that we saw when the window slid open. Even though Janet is likely long dead, aliens have been keeping her car in pristine condition. After using a healing archway, we can move west, where we find another abomination. Heading down the stairs to loot his books, we find a pre-war Earth book on his inventory. I think there's no doubt about it. These were once human. Back up the stairs, we see that this level had a bunch of pods, and peering through the porthole, we see more abominations in here. Perhaps this is where they freeze abominations, or store them until they're ready to experiment upon them. Or maybe this is part of the cooking process. Maybe the abominations need to absorb some chemical through their skin before fully turning. To continue forward, we head south and pass through a large door to some sort of conference room. We see alien workers trying to get out a western door, but they're too afraid to tag this control on the wall. I'll just go ahead and keep them there. Moving west, we see another catwalk snaking through a large room. Heading across, we can go down some stairs to this lower level. This lower level's a dead end, but we do find some decent loot here. Alien biogel crystals and epoxy on a shelf to the west. We can pick up another drone here as a temporary companion, and then loot more epoxy and alien power cells, not modules, on the shelf to the east, along with some more crystals. Directly below this is another container filled with alien goods, and when done, we can go back up the stairs to the catwalk. Following it all the way to the west, we find our bank of 3 teleporter pads. Only one is working, however. This is the teleportation matrix to the Death Ray hub. That is where we need to go, but I want to know what the switch does. Oh, Sally.
You're really good at this. I hope it wasn't too scary.
Well, we're here. Now what?
Well, it looks like they're still keeping some of these turned off. But there's one that's on. So I guess that's the way we go. You should probably go through first, in case there's something bad on the other side. And then I can go through after, okay?
We can turn around and talk to Soma.
Well, hey there. Fancy meeting you here. Nice work. Now what?
Oh, I'm just flying by the seat of my pants here.
Ha ha, very funny. If you've got nothing, then ask the kid. She's been helpful so far.
We need to make them pay. Every last one.
You know the odds of getting out of this alive are pretty small, right? I'm just saying.
Thanks for your vote of confidence, Tokorian. Well, she's right. We can't activate this third teleporter here. And after pushing the button, we can go through the teleporter to the observation level. This is, of course, where we left our friends. And if we left any loot here, we can go ahead and loot it. Or go through the weapons lab again in case we missed any special loot before heading back to biological research. But to continue forward, we need to tag the portal that takes us to the Death Ray hub. We arrive in a hallway that leads to a narrow room. We can go right or we can go left. Going left for now, we can access a wall-mounted terminal to activate the nearby door. But inside, we just find a deactivated room. I didn't know what to do with this guy at the time, so I passed him by, but I'll show you what to do with these in just a minute. Peering through a window, however, we see that we've alerted the nearby aliens. Continuing forward, we see that the teleporter that we used to arrive here no longer works. So we can't go back. We can only go forward. Moving south, we see another wall-mounted terminal to the west, which opens another door, which reveals yet another robot drone. Here we can realign the robot's sensors and then activate the robot. It does not become a temporary companion, but it does wander off to do some damage. In this room, we can loot a container on the ground and then follow the robot drone south. It continues forward and rounds a corner to attack some aliens. Activating the wall-mounted terminal to the left, we enter this small room to get attacked by a final alien. Here we find two containers on the ground, and between them a table covered in alien biogel and alien epoxy. Heading out, rounding the corner, and into the next room, we see that it exits to the north to a large room with a cowering alien worker. We can use a healing archway here before moving forward. We get attacked from the east by a ceiling-mounted turret and an alien. They were attacking from some sort of catwalk that leads downstairs to a lower level. Down here, we see a doorway to the east with a hologram that looks a whole lot like a death ray. That must be where we need to go, but I want to finish exploring this first. Down to the north, we see another door to the east, and heading down here, see that it connects to the death ray door we just passed. Heading east into this room, we can use some alien epoxy on a table and punch the release mechanism to turn off these force fields. Heading through the door, we see the north passage blocked, so instead we'll turn south and round a corner towards a hallway. The path to the north is again blocked, so we'll go south down this hallway to open a door that leads to another sprawling hallway lined with portals out to space. It then turns right, and we see another death ray hologram hovering above this door. Heading down some stairs, we can get the jump on some aliens. Turning into the left one, we kill another alien. Here we just find one healing archway and a container on the ground. So heading back out and moving southwest, we go down some stairs, turn northwest down some more stairs, and then open a door to death ray control. On the other side of the door, we head down and turn right. After killing these aliens, we head through the northeastern door to arrive at death ray control. Before we can do anything to the death ray, we must first clear this room of hostiles. From here, we can reconfigure the death ray. On the panel to the right, we see two buttons. Only one is lit. Punching it points the death ray at Earth. Going back to the console and punching the other one points the death ray out to space. On the other control, we find two buttons. If we punch the right one, we fire the death ray. Configured here, we see that the beam clearly goes out to space. But if we reconfigure the beam to point at Earth and then punch the button, we see a devastating detonation visible from space. It looks like it hits close to the Great Lakes. One of the descriptive notes of this encounter in the Fallout 3 strategy guide says, you can fiddle with the death ray itself. accidentally, quote unquote, firing it off into Earth. Maybe it just destroyed Europe. You don't find out. So, sorry, Europeans. Hope we didn't singe you. But we don't want to fire on our dear beloved Earth. So instead of doing this, we punch the button on the left console to the far left. This rises one of the 4 death ray generator cores. We need to destroy this like all the others we've destroyed on the ship by tagging each of the 3 coolant switches to cause it to overheat. When done, we go back to the left console and again press the generator core eject button. This raises generator core number 2, and we dispatch it the same way. After the first 2 explode, we get rushed by aliens. While looting their corpses, we found a container on the ground to the southwest, and now we need to raise the final 2 death ray generator cores, and then flip their coolant switches to cause them to overheat and explode. With that, the job is done, and we can look out to Earth knowing that we've protected her from this alien threat. To move forward, we head through the southwestern door and activate the teleportation matrix to the living quarters. There are 2 paths out of this teleporter room, both of which connect to an eastern hallway. Following it around the corner, we see one of those big mobile shields that we first saw on the maintenance level. Looks like these aliens have really dug in and are prepared for a siege. Thankfully, it takes just a few shots from our disintegrator to detonate the shield. After the turrets are gone, we can loot a chest to the southeast before heading up some stairs to the next level. Here we see an alien already dead. Oh, and the aliens and ceiling-mounted turrets are attacking more abominations. I'm not sure how the abominations got to this level of the ship. We can take pot shots at the turrets and the aliens that the abominations missed. We have to destroy 2 of these mobile force field shields in order to continue. Continuing south, we find 2 rooms to the right, each of which simply has a chest on the ground. At the end, we see a doorway and stairs to the south, but before we head down there, I want to finish exploring this room. On the eastern side of this level, we can destroy 2 of these shields from behind, and then open an eastern door. This leads to a room filled with stasis chambers. This must be either the place where the aliens sleep, or where they go to wait out what must be decades or centuries worth of space travel to get from their home planet to their destinations. We then go down a stairway in the middle of the room to its lower level. We find a healing archway in one room, and then each of these other rooms just have more alien stasis chambers. We only find 1 alien epoxy in one of these rooms. When done, we can head back up the stairs, and then open either the southeastern or southwestern door. They both lead to a staircase, which bring us down to the same hallway. We can go left or right. Turning left for now, we open a door to an alien sitting room where we fight off some aliens. Continuing down the eastern hallway, we see that it turns north, and we walk right up behind one of those projector shields. They are much easier to kill from back here. Watch out for their explosions. I crippled a limb. Continuing along, we arrive at another hallway. We can go left or right. Turning left, we see an alien corpse on the ground. Did the abominations get all the way back here as well? Continuing to the northern room, we find Toshiro. Toshiro, buddy, we missed you. Why did you leave us like that? Well, whatever he said, he sure made quick work of these aliens. My goodness. Despite all their technology, a samurai from the 1500s managed to operate a teleporter on the ship, sneak in behind them, and lay waste to them. We find 6 dead aliens in this room, 7 counting the one in the hallway. But it looks like Toshiro wants to stay here. Maybe that's because his teleportation matrix is no longer functional. If we find a way to activate it later, maybe we'll see him again. But for now, we've got a job to do. So heading out of Toshiro's room, we can go south down the hallway. We see that it's a dead end down here, so the only way to continue is to go back the way we came. Heading back through that living room, we can pass the stairs we used to get down here to find a support drone. We can realign his sensors and activate him to have him join the coming battle. And sure enough, continuing west-northwest, we find stiff opposition from aliens. Moving forward, we see the aliens have blocked the northern passage with a barrier. We could destroy it or sneak around it by opening a door to the west. But we find this room heavily guarded. And more aliens were hiding in the adjoining room. This is one of the most difficult fights in the game, because we get rushed by 6 or so aliens and have to fight the ceiling-mounted turrets. The alien's dead, we can sneak back into that room and try and get rid of the turret. Whew, and at last we can take a breather. Immediately to the right, we find a control that gives us Captain Reported Log number 23.
Please, just let me go.
Oh my gosh, what was that machine doing to the poor man's insides? Note that this is the final alien capture